What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Episode 65 of our podcast, Sippin' Sports.
Oh, so deep.
That's what we do. We're back. It's a great week. It's a great day. How you feeling?
Doing all right.
Yeah. It's never good. All right usually never means very good.
Well,
When someone says, I'm okay.
you got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't always be.
Is your all right still like, I'm good? You know when people are like, I'm all right, it's like, ooh, are you? Like, okay. Like,
Yeah,
do you ever
I'd
say
say
I'm
I'm
okay?
decent.
Yeah. Okay. Decent's the same thing. That's like the same. That's the same thing.
If I say I'm fine, then I would say I'm not as good.
Now it's okay. So
Yeah.
fine is worse than all right.
Yeah.
Got it. That's
Wouldn't
good
you
clarity.
say so?
Yeah, I would say they're probably similar in the same boat, but I would say all right is just like I'm good.
What's yours? What's your not great?
I would say okay is like if I'm like I'm okay. It's like that's usually on the lower end. I don't really say fine. I guess fine and okay are probably lower than.
Fine is usually where I'm just trying to end the conversation.
Yeah. How you doing? Fine. All right.
Yeah.
See ya. Next.
Yeah, so we're doing all right.
There you go. All right is better now that we know.
Yeah. 65. So if you didn't listen to last week, this is the last episode of season 2.
Dose.
Season 2, wrapping up after today, which means that we're taking the summer off with you guys, all you teacher folk, and we'll be back in August.
August 8th.
Yep. Put it on your calendars, or just put the notifications on Spotify
Yeah.
or Apple Podcasts, and then you'll get a notification when first episode of season 3 is coming back. But it's August 8th is the recording day. August 10th.
Yeah.
August 10th will be the first episode of season 3.
Yeah. So don't forget.
Yep.
Don't forget.
All right, let's jump into it, David. What do you got? Top moment.
Yeah. So last weekend, Novak Djokovic won the French Open. That was his 23rd Grand Slam title.
Okay.
Officially the most to ever pick. Whoever they said on ESPN, he has the most Grand Slam titles out of anyone that's ever picked up a racket.
Really?
So he is the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Does that
official.
automatically make you the GOAT?
I think I think the hardest part was he was already in the discussion for being the GOAT.
Uh-huh.
And now he's just solidified it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you win the most Grand Slams, you are already one of the best players to ever play. I think this just is like one of those things where it's like, now you have it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like, he's 40 years old. But,
Still cooking.
yeah, still cooking, still playing when he can. Coming into the country, that was the big debate with him. But,
For a little while.
yeah. So, yeah, he's a beast.
Okay. Solid.
Do you think if you got 10 serves against a professional tennis player, you could return any of them?
10?
10 serves.
Yeah.
Like they would serve 10 times to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
How many do you think you do? 1 or 2?
Probably. You just have to hit it back and land it in the...
Right. Like I'm not talking like you have to
In
win the point. You just
regulation.
have to return it.
and land it inbounds.
Yep.
I'd say the most likely would be 2.
Okay. Yeah, I was probably saying 1 or 2. I mean, they should hit that shit hard. That's like 100 some miles an hour.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But like
You can practice
you
a
get a
little bit.
racket on it, and then you just hope that it lands inbounds.
Right. You kind of just tap, yeah. Because you don't have to win the point. You just have to get it over.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. Fair.
All right, my top moment is the college baseball postseason's going on right now. They're trying to get to Omaha. At this point, all the teams that have gotten to Omaha are there. However, in the Super Regional this last weekend, a Stanford pitcher, his name's Quinn Matthews, he pitched 156 pitches in their Game 2 win. So it's best of 3 in the Super Regionals. And they were playing Texas. Started Game 2. They lost Game 1. So it was a winner go home. And he pitched 156 pitches, set a new career high, full game. And apparently their coach came out and said that he didn't let them take him out.
Love that.
They were trying to find him in the dugout. He was already out on the
Field.
mound. And then the pitching coach came out and he wouldn't have it. He wouldn't hear it. He was just like, I'm gonna get this guy out.
Wow.
And just wanted to keep going.
Okay. impressive.
Yeah.
I always have mixed feelings for people that I like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I support wanting to get the win. I support doing all that, but at the same time, like, dog, like the coach is probably looking out for you. I mean, 150 pitches was 10 more. It's kind of your game.
He was already at like 140.
Right.
Leading into the last guy. Yeah,
that was what was crazy too. We were watching the Tennessee game, and this kid was, I think he was over 100 pitches. It was like the 8th inning, and he's still pumping 99 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He's a college kid. Good luck.
This guy, apparently he said, I knew I wanted the rock. And then
there it is. That's all you needed, I guess. They also won too on a pop-up that got lost in the lights game 3.
Yeah, game 3. So now they're in the conference series.
Yeah. Fortunately, they have to play Wake Forest first round, and Wake Forest is
they're very good.
It's very good. They hit 9 home runs in their last game.
Yeah,
they won 22-9.
They're really good. But the last thing I'll say about that guy was over 100 pitches, 15 out of 17 games that he's pitched this year.
So he has a rubber arm. That's what you kind of need.
He's just going.
Yeah. He doesn't want to get taken out. I mean, I support it. It's like, it just is different. It's like, dude, because it could go both ways.
Well, also, baseball is just different in the sense that you have, like, once you finish college, most of these guys have already been drafted.
Yeah.
But you're not going straight to the pros. You have to go to minor leagues most likely. Like, unless you're, like, a crazy case.
Well, you still go to minor leagues. Like, all these guys, even first round picks, second round picks, like, you all start out in, like, single A.
Which is
you might move through the process faster, but there's nobody, even you look at great players like Mike Trout, anybody, they still were in like single A. Granted, they get more league room where it's like, oh, you're hitting 250 in single A, we're going to bump you up to double A.
Yeah.
Where some people, it's like, dude, you could hit 300 in single A and still not even get a look at anything.
Right.
It's the hardest sport to move up because there's just so many different, there's low A, single A, high A, double A, triple A. Like,
so this guy was drafted in the 19th round. So that basically means, all right, you were drafted because you're a D1 pitcher, but like, enjoy it while you got it.
Yeah, you're an arm. I mean, and you probably will still get a chance, and you have to perform. But it's just like, it's tough. There's so many good players.
Yeah.
So many good. And think about, like, there's a ton of young talent already in the league. You have to have spots open. There's not a lot of spots that open very often.
Right.
For guys like that. So.
All right. Well, what do we got next?
Sticking on the baseball, Twins currently first place. They're 33-33, exactly 500. They play the Brewers currently today and tomorrow. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they play the Tigers coming up. Minnesota United's on a losing streak. They lost to Montreal 4-rip. They play Real Salt Lake in 2 weeks. And the team of the town, the Minnesota Wind Chill, beat Madison 18-17 last weekend in a barn burner.
Yeah, they did.
They play Madison this weekend in Madison.
Okay.
So a little home and home, you know?
Yeah. They're carrying the squad for the people.
Yeah, they're 5-1.
Why don't you have the Lynx on there?
I didn't even know the Lynx started, and they're not doing so hot.
They're not doing so hot, but I feel like we should give them an update.
Do you know their record?
It's not very good. I think it's like 2-5 or something.
Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah. Well, they just had a jersey retirement.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2-7. Sorry, 2-7. That was preseason.
Oh.
So they're 2-7, and they play Friday.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
They're ass. Sorry, guys.
2-7. All right.
You brought a championship to here one time, but
a couple.
Yeah, a couple. Never had a parade for them though. It's unfortunate. That'd be kind of cool.
Alrighty. Moving on. We got the last NBA picks. So I wrapped in the last 3 games because there was 2 last week, 1 on Monday. So I just put them all together. David, you were 2-5.
Yeah, that's because the over never hit.
This last game was not good for you.
No, the over never hit.
You were 2-2, and then you were 0-3 in this last game.
Yeah, happens.
I was 4-1.
There you go.
So we're putting together a little streak here. So if you're on the Action app, check it out.
Yeah.
Last 30 days, cooking. We're cooking.
Yeah, we need it. We're still a little bit in the hole, but
there
what
you
can
go.
you do for me lately? That's what we're doing. That's our mantra.
Well, what have you done for me lately? And then we'll just keep the lately going.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
All right. What are we drinking today?
We're going back to the Oasis Kiwi Strawberry Kiwi Premium Hard Seltzer. 5% alcohol.
Where's it from?
Oasis. Sweet water.
Oh, we did an Oasis one time, didn't we?
Yeah. Naturally flavored. Strawberry Kiwi. Cool can. Good for you guys.
Yeah, it's a good little design.
Electrolytes, that's what it was.
That's right.
Real organic super fruit with electrolytes. Antioxidant, vitamin C.
It had electrolytes, and it was like, if I remember correct, we didn't really like it. I don't think
the flavor was great, but we'll see what this one has.
All right, beer we're going with is a Session Pale Ale. It's called Lake Day. It's from Omni Brewing Company in Maple Grove, Minnesota. Is that what you said?
Yep, local.
In Maple Grove, Minnesota. So, we'll see how it goes. Also,
local.
Pretty cool can. It looks. What's this? What vibe does this give you? Another product.
What vibe? What do you mean?
What other product does this can remind you of?
Reminds me of Ron John.
What?
It's like the surfing beach vibe.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
That was incorrect. That's not what I was thinking. Fresca.
Oh, soda?
A product.
Yeah, product is
Look at that.
anything.
All right, this is what I was saying last week. All right, so you open it and you put it like this, and then you put it like this.
This is not gonna work. I'm telling you.
Shit. That did not work how it was supposed to.
Yeah, I think the can was. This is too big. Like the.
What the heck? Dang.
Hopefully you move your computer. That was dumb.
No, it just went on the table.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to go rewatch that video. I'm gonna go.
That was paper towel.
Not a good
folks.
performance.
Bad. If you're watching the YouTube, bad.
Or if you're not, you should.
Yeah, I guess you should if you want to see a little mix up. I will say, you can also hear me in the background say, this is not gonna happen. It's just not. I don't know how they did it. Was it on TikTok?
Yeah, it was.
That's the reason.
It looked good when they did it, and it made sense.
Yeah, but how many takes do you think they had?
I don't know.
I guess it wasn't a one take.
It seemed like there was more room between the can and the top of the glass.
I just feel like this little flimsy thing cannot hold the whole beer.
No, it wasn't because I kind of wimped out because I felt like it was going to
Overflow.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you had to do. You had to go all. Maybe you had to put it like that. You
That's-
kind of tipped the can.
That's what I was trying to do.
You just maybe
like,
had to
put it
go
like
all in like this. Oop, just
Yeah.
spilt that too.
I had to go all in, and I got a little nervous.
Yeah, just a little nervy. That's okay.
All right, Oasis strawberry kiwi.
Thank God, it's our last episode. We can clean up after.
This is strawberry kiwi.
Strawberry kiwi. Cool can, like I said. Cool can. Smells kind of weird, but cool can.
It smells like strawberry.
Yeah. Ooh. Tastes like, you know what, now it's sipping on this, it reminds me of what we said last time. It tastes like those,
LaCroix.
those flavored, no, even worse than LaCroix. It tastes like, those, like, what are those, like, something, OH or something? 3O or something?
The what?
They're like another sparkling water thing. Not as good as LaCroix.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it definitely tastes like LaCroix. So if you like LaCroix, maybe, but I would say lessen your expectations on flavor.
Yeah,
There's just no flavor.
It's like I also feel like it's like a soft carbonation.
Yeah.
Like it's like you can tell that it's there, but it's not like just gonna blow you away.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how those sparkling waters are. Too.
Right, exactly.
Like bubblies and stuff like that. Like they're not, like I feel like people always get them because they're always like, oh, the flavor, who's safe? The flavor is like not overpowering. Like it's like a hint.
Yeah.
Of whatever.
And a hint of flavor.
Yeah, which is this similar to this. I just don't know if there's a ton of flavor. I don't taste any lime, to be honest. I don't know.
Oh, is it lime or kiwi?
Or kiwi. I don't taste any kiwi. I mean, I do. The smell is a little bit strawberry. I get that, but I don't taste anything.
No, they just got a hint of flavor. Just a hint of flavor.
Also, a type of water are those hints. That's also.
But those are just in bottles, aren't they?
Yeah, and I don't think they have any carbonation. Really.
All right.
So I'm gonna give it a 3.9. I just don't. The flavor's just not there. I mean, like you said, it's very light. It's very like carbonation is pretty high.
I wouldn't say
Not
it's
high, but you
super
can
high.
definitely taste some carbonation. It's not as smooth, but there's no flavor. It's just literally like drinking sparkling water with, I guess, 5% alcohol somehow.
I'm giving it. Oh, there's 5% in there. Wow.
That's what I said.
That's
So you
much
wanna
higher.
get messed up. Yeah.
I'm giving it a 4.6.
A little higher.
A little bit higher, because I think that not because it's like, oh my gosh, this is so great, but because it's just like super easy to drink.
It's very light.
And it's not like, I don't mind the flavor. There just isn't that much of it.
Right.
You know? So it's
Right.
like, it kind of is just like, oh, it's just like a super easy thing to drink, and it doesn't really feel like you're drinking any alcohol.
Right. Which is crazy that there's 5%.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's truly one of those easy to drink, easy.
So I wanted to put it like around the middle because it's not super great flavor,
Right.
but there isn't that much flavor, and I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But
Right. And I just don't know if I would want like the
I
same
could
flavor
I could
twice.
drink 5 of them and
Yeah,
be
I know,
no
it's gotta
problem.
be- yeah.
You
They
know.
wouldn't fill you up, that's for sure.
yeah, no, super light.
Yeah. All right. And they give you electrolytes
Yeah,
for
right.
while you're out on the lake.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on to Omni Brewing, Lake Day. That was a good transition.
What was it? Wait, what type kind of?
It's called a Session Pale Ale.
Oh.
So it says, all right, this is the description.
Okay.
It says, Lake Day brightens any day with its so drinkable flavor profile.
Wait, what? Is so like have a bunch of O's?
There's 3 O's.
Oh, so you did make that up.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it says, thanks to an ideal splash of fresh Citra hops, are always lovable and lakeable pale ale.
Okay. Oh, and lakeable.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, it's called Lake Day. If you're not able to drink this on the lake, then
Yeah,
you might as well throw it in the lake.
Well, I just think, whoa.
So that
Throw
somebody
it away
else,
in the trash.
so that
Throw it
somebody
away
else
in
can
the-
grab it. Not that can.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying dump. Wait, what? What are you trying to say? Just dump the beer in it?
Throw it in
For
there.
the fish?
Yeah, throw it in there so somebody else can
Enjoy
have
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely light. I mean, both of these have been very light, so both of these are easy to drink. Like you'd expect if you're on a lake, you don't want something super heavy.
So that actually makes sense that it has fresh Citra hops because Fresca also has fresh Citra.
You think that's where they got it from?
I think so. I'm just guessing, but
I guess, yeah.
similar.
It's
Just
not
saying.
bad. Not bad.
Also, the only reason why
Fresca because the blue?
No, Fresca because Abby was drinking a Fresca on Sunday when I saw her.
God.
So that's why it was on my mind.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've had a Fresca.
Literally, probably
Fresca.
7th grade.
Yeah. Do they obviously sell them.
Obviously.
They must be in the back of the stores.
Yeah, in the back of the aisle.
Like behind the Sprite and behind
Mhm.
the stuff you have to dig from. But
I wonder how many people actually get Fresca. Probably not that many.
yeah, like I said, I don't know. I mean, how many? I don't really know.
Drink soda.
Sodas.
There's actually quite a few, I think.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I feel like the sodas are like, people drink Diet Coke. Like,
Yeah.
Diet Coke is super popular.
Ugh.
Then it's like, okay, Sprite's not bad. Mountain Dew used to be like the thing. And then Dr. Pepper.
At least Mountain Dew, you're getting some energy out of it. The others, you're just drinking it because you don't want to drink water.
Right.
I
Diet
think.
Coke. That's Diet Coke for sure.
Yeah.
But Diet Coke is like
Nasty.
literally like every single person knows most parents either have 1 or 2 people that drink Diet Coke. Like that's like the go-to drink, I feel like.
Yeah, my dad inhaled that stuff.
My
Back in the day.
dad still inhales that stuff. He's like a super or Speedway, whatever it's called now, like super club member. He gets like the big ones. I've said this story before. He would leave family parties to go to the store to get a Diet Coke.
That's right.
That's a wild man. That's so bad for you.
That's dedication.
It's so bad for you. That's called an addiction.
I mean, you could have just gotten him some as a gift.
No. He doesn't like it at the can. He wants it out of the machine.
The tap.
And I think also he wants out of the machines because when he goes there, he fills up his big gulp thing.
Yeah.
And he drinks like half of it and then refills it.
So he's a sip stealer.
Oh, 100% Tom Barry is. He's a scoundrel when it comes. Pause. This is a quick story. Speedway, Super America, gave like a promotion where it's like you give them your phone number and for like $10 a month, you get unlimited, like any size drinks. But it's like once a day because you have one phone number.
Okay.
He put his cell phone, went to a different one, put his home phone. So now he can go twice for $10.
I'm surprised he didn't use your mom's phone either.
He might be going 3. The last I know, there's only 2.
We might need to check in on him.
Yeah, or I should just go there and give my mom's phone number and see if I get.
Well, you could give him yours.
I don't want to feed the addiction.
Hey, Dad.
No, it's bad.
Use mine.
Pop is not good for you.
No, it's not very good for you at all.
Even if it's diet, it's not good for you. So, all right.
What are you giving it?
I'm giving it a 6-0.
Okay.
I think it's solid. I think I do like it. I think it's light, which makes it a lot easier. Is the flavor like a ton? No, but I think it's a solid beer. Like I would drink it on a boat.
I would think it's a great summer beer.
Right. It's a great summer beer.
I'm gonna give it a 7.6. I think that it's an elite summer beer.
That's up there with your key limes. Oh yeah.
7.2 and 7.7.
This right around. Yeah, right around.
7.6 though. I think it would have been a little bit higher, but there's a little bit more hops than maybe I'd like it.
Okay.
Otherwise the score would have been a little bit higher, but overall solid beer.
Yeah,
I could definitely drink it, especially during the summer.
Right. And I think both of these were good. Like if you were outside on a hot day, like they wouldn't. Like, you know when you drink some beers and it's just hot, you're like, this is gross. This would be pretty good.
Especially if it's chilled. It's like,
So that's good.
Money.
Right. So, yeah.
All right, so we got Oasis, strawberry. Is it strawberry kiwi?
Strawberry kiwi.
Strawberry kiwi. Dave, you got 3.9. I've got 4.6. And then Omni Brewing Lake Day. 6.0 for Dave, 7.6 for me. There you go.
Bang.
The last.
This is vegan.
Really?
Are most of them vegan?
I don't know. We haven't really looked.
Gluten free. I think that's
the last review of season 2.
Wasn't the worst, and that's what they call a review.
Yep, that's what they call it.
There you go.
All right, folks. NBA Finals wrapped up.
Yeah, about time.
Nuggets won.
Here's a question.
Definitely coasted.
Yeah, they were coasting for sure. I mean, even that last game, it was like they just kind of were like, and then the Heat just were, which I think is tough because it was.
Well, the Heat started off hot, but the same thing happened the whole time. Their insufficiencies on offense hurt them big time,
right.
And then the Nuggets just kept scoring.
Well, the Nuggets kind of took over, yeah, like you said, yeah. They just kind of took that over and just dominated in the end, and then the Heat weren't making shots, so it was like, okay.
Yeah, no shot for them.
I mean, it's crazy. You think about it, every single game, the over-under was like, last night's was like 209, and it finished like, what, 95 to 80 something?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, honestly. They were both teams were heavily on the under.
Yeah.
But, so Jokic gets his first championship.
He didn't even look, I mean, he's just a very mellow guy anyways.
I mean,
he looked like he wanted to just go home. He was so
He
over.
does.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
what he keeps saying.
Not even home to Serbia. I'm saying
it's
like
hilarious. I'm dying at all of the press conferences.
Well, because he seems like he's just like a humble guy that like he's really good at basketball. And he's like, I just over
he
this
wants
whole
to
scene.
go home.
Yeah. And shout out to him though, low key, like truthfully, shout out to him. Where it was like he actually at the end of the game went up to all the Heat players right away and like said,
yeah,
he had a good game. And he even gave him a shout out too. He said they were a good game. But like at the end of the game, he didn't even look like he was like, oh yeah, we won. Cool.
Yeah.
Throwing a hat and like I literally just want to go home.
I mean, he's had some great
what a play.
He's had some great sound bites
He's funny.
In interviews. It's like he just wants to go home and have his horse racing.
He doesn't want to go to the parade on Thursday.
He goes.
He showed that
he goes,
very clearly.
What's the parade? They go Thursday. He goes, oh my gosh, I just want to go home.
The best is too, like he's like literally their best player, and like he just is so nonchalant.
Yeah.
What I will say, what's
MVP.
crazy, 100%. And what's crazy too, Lo, is like you watch them play, and I think even next year, obviously, like our favorite thing came out where it's like the too early rankings.
Mm-hmm.
But I think next year if they can contain most of their guys or maintain most of their guys, I mean they're going to be a reckon with again. I mean they're just solid from top to bottom.
They keep their
core guys.
Their starting five.
Yeah.
The question mark is Bruce Brown. He's got an option for next year. So I mean, I guess it will depend on, okay, does he want to stay on this team and potentially be in a situation where he can win another championship, or because he's already won a championship, is he going to prioritize getting more money?
Yeah. Well,
which,
I think
who knows?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, each player has their own thing, and like you can't fault a guy for wanting more money.
Right.
But like he is a decent piece of that.
He's a great guy to come off the bench.
100%.
And he fits. I mean, he's a guy that you feel comfortable with putting him in at the end of the game, which they did.
Right.
And he got that huge offensive rebound.
Yeah.
On the backside.
The go ahead.
And then he got fouled and he made the free throws. So like somebody that you would ideally like to have on the team.
Right. But the question then just becomes like, I don't think the Nuggets could really even pay him. Like they
can pay him like
$7. Yeah, they couldn't pay him as much as another
6 or 7
team.
million.
But then also it's like you're kind of taking a risk on him, giving him a ton. But yeah, we'll see what he does. I mean, they should be a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, Bruce Brown will put them up there at the top, and they have to be the favorite already. But
they are the favorite.
But I think even without him, they're still got to be up there. I mean, they're just a solid team.
Yeah, I believe they're plus 4 something.
475, I think it was, and like the Celtics are like plus 550.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I saw something on what's this show? First Take. With now JJ Redick or whatever.
Watch that?
I didn't. It was on Twitter. I don't watch that shit.
Okay.
Stephen A is too much for me. But I watched it and it was like JJ made a good point. Like Stephen A was like, "Oh well, I would take Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. He was just a better, more dominant player." And JJ was like, "The only reason you're saying that is because we're basically showing that Jokic isn't as like high flying, super out there athletic guy, but he's literally the best player in the NBA." Like overall, like his statistics are literally showing he's the best player, but he doesn't make these crazy plays like we've talked about. Yeah, so it's crazy to hear it on that.
Flashy, right? Just like really good basketball plays,
right? And he was saying it's like yes, dominance is great, and like Shaquille O'Neal obviously was dominant, but like at the end of the day, like most people, if not everyone, would take Jokic on their team. Mm-hmm. He's just that good of a player.
Yeah, and he is good. That kind of sparks, and it leads into what I wanted to, an activity that I wanted to do with you, is I was at a brewery last night with a couple guys, and we went through the top 25 players in the NBA.
Top 25?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
To figure out, like, create a starting 5 where you get one player from 1 to 5, one player from 6 to 10, one player from 11 to 15.
But you have to have each 5 different positions.
And you have to, like, it has to be a roster that you can, like, put on the court.
Okay.
And, like, have them play together.
Got it.
Essentially. So you kind of have to, like, put them in positions.
Got it.
Okay? So we're going to do that right now.
Do you have a list?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're starting at the top. It's in order.
Okay.
So, number 1 is Jokic.
Okay.
2 is Giannis, 3 is Luka, 4 is Jason Tatum, and 5 is Joel Embiid.
Okay, so I'll preface this by saying this. I will preface this. I think it's so hard because it's like, I want to see the rest of the list because I want to know the position type. Like,
too bad.
What do you mean too bad?
No, you can't.
Why can't? What do you mean I can't? How can I not know the top 25 players?
You got to go with who. Well, I mean, you can kind of think about where guys might be, but you just got to go with who you want to start with, and then you create your roster from there.
Okay. I'm taking Jokic then. At center.
I took Giannis.
Okay. At center?
No.
At 5?
You don't necessarily have to say specifically where you're putting them,
okay.
But you have to fit the roster as a group that can play together.
Okay. I would take Jokic.
All right. So then the next, so you got Jokic, I got Giannis, and we can pick the same people.
That's fine.
Okay. 6 is Durant. 7 is Steph. 8 is Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander. 9 is Dame, and Ja is 10.
Oh, fuck Ja. That's not even close. I would say...
So Durant, Steph, Shea, Dame, or Ja?
I would say... I'm going to take Steph.
Okay. I went KD.
KD, I was going to say that was who I was between two.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking no offense to Shea, great player, but like, I would take Dame over Shea too.
Yeah.
I think it goes Steph or KD, and then Dame is a little bit below. Dame would have been a fine pick to me too.
Yep, totally. All right, 11 is LeBron. 12 is Donovan Mitchell. 13 is Jaylen Brown. 14 is Domantas Sabonis, and 15 is Kawhi.
So I guess I have to ask this. Like, are we talking like
right now
at their best?
No, right now.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously healthy.
Healthy.
Right
That's what more of the question
right
is.
now, but healthy. Like fully healthy, but right now. So it's LeBron, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Domantas Sabonis, and Kawhi.
I'm gonna take. I'm trying to think of also fast forward to like I gotta fill more positions. I'm taking LeBron.
So you got Steph and Jokic right
taking
now.
LeBron.
So you got Steph, LeBron, and Jokic.
Okay.
And I have Giannis, KD, and I also picked LeBron.
Okay. Because I think, well, and here's also the one biggest reason why I took LeBron, because he's versatile.
Yeah, you can put him at
That's
PG.
Because I was thinking it was like, okay, so Donovan Mitchell is either a 1 or a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Steph's a 1 or a 2.
Yep.
LeBron could be a. I mean, if we're
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I would say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Very comfortably 1, 2, 3, 4. Realistically, yes. Potentially,
Yeah.
could he play 5? Sure, but yes.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to have him
5.
potential like. If he was on my team, I wouldn't want him trying to guard Jokic.
No, that's what I'm saying. 100%.
You know. Okay, so the next 5 is Halliburton, Anthony Davis, Pascal Siakam, Jimmy Butler, James Harden.
Jimmy Butler.
Really?
Yep. Taking Jimmy.
Interesting.
Plays with heart. I like the guy.
Okay. So you have Jokic, Steph, LeBron, and Jimmy.
Yep.
Okay. I picked Anthony Davis.
Okay.
So I have Giannis, Durant, LeBron, and Anthony Davis.
Wait. So who's wait. That's literally 4. All those guys are 4s and 5s.
No.
3s, 4s, and 5s. Who's your 2?
I'm putting LeBron at the 1.
This is an asterisk.
Just keep going.
Okay.
All right. The next 5 is Bam Adebayo, Kyrie, Paul George, Zion, and Devin Booker.
I'm taking Booker. So he's my 3, or Jimmy's my 3.
Okay, so you got Steph at the 1.
Yep.
And then
LeBron would be my 4.
D-Book.
Yep.
Jimmy, LeBron, and Jokic.
Yep.
Okay. I also picked Devin Booker.
So Devin Booker's your point guard.
No, he's my shooting guard.
Oh,
I got LeBron at 1.
Yeah.
Devin Booker.
Okay.
KD.
Yeah. So
Giannis.
we've
and
talked about
Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Great. So you'll grab every rebound, but your guys, I mean, those guys play. Where do they start? 4s and 5s. Those are the 4s and 5s of the team. 4 of those guys are.
Durant could play 3.
Where did Durant start for the Suns? What position are? 4.
Well, he played the 4, but he can play 3. He's a perimeter-oriented guy.
I'll take my team. I like it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, your size, sure, but like
size, shooting ability.
Who's better shooter?
Durant, Devin Booker.
Then who? Steph? Well, we both have Devin Booker, so those cancel out. He's a better shooter than Steph?
I'm just saying, got a lot of scores. All right, so go through yours again so we can have
Jokic.
a poll.
Jokic is my Jokic.
Start at like point guard or center.
So I'll go Steph.
Okay.
Then I'll go. Who is my next guy?
Steph.
Devin Booker, Jimmy, LeBron, and then Jokic.
Yeah, and my 5 was LeBron, Devin Booker, KD, Giannis, Anthony Davis.
So it's literally 3 versus 3 because 2 of the guys technically cancel out. LeBron and D-Book do.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends who you like more. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
There it is. Those are the top 25?
Yeah.
Was Tatum in the top 5?
Yeah, he's 4.
Ah, damn. I like Tatum, but I just can't.
It's tough when you're taking him over Giannis or Jokic or even Embiid.
Yeah, and Luka's in that same thing.
Right.
I mean, I will say this. I would take Tatum. I think Tatum's the fourth best in that. I think Luka's fifth, but I would take Embiid or Giannis over both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yep.
That's a tough 5. If he was in the second 5, I would take Tatum for sure.
Over Steph?
Yeah.
Over Durant?
Yes.
Really?
Tatum's a ball player.
Wow.
Ball player.
That's bold.
Ball player.
All right. Let's go with NBA draft.
That is coming up.
Next.
Yeah, yep.
So it's next Thursday, a week from today when this is dropping. We're going to go top 10 picks.
Mm-hmm. Where is the draft? Where did the NBA draft happen? Is it Vegas? What's that NFL? I don't know. Who cares?
I don't really know even.
Yeah, I feel like that's not even talked about. But do they do it at like different spots?
Oh, it's at the Barclays Center.
Oh, New York.
I want to say it was at the Barclays Center last year too. Oh wait, the 2023 draft is at Chicago. Is in Chicago.
So Barclays was last year.
Barclays was last year.
Got it. That makes more sense. Yeah, because you'll never go back to back.
Barclays was 2018, 2019. Or wait. No.
They can't go back to back, right? I mean, I guess they can do whatever they want.
Wait a minute. No, June 23rd. Yeah, it's at Barclays Center. Oh no, that was 2022. 2023. Oh, the lottery was in Chicago.
So maybe it's always at Barclays Center. Maybe the lottery's always in Chicago.
Yeah, it is.
So
the
it's always
NBA draft is in Brooklyn, New York.
Weird. So they always do it so they just stick to the same spot. Where the NFL.
I think it might be changing though. The last time that an NBA draft took place summer that was not New York or New Jersey was in the year 2000 when it was hosted by Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I wonder where it was.
That's wild. I mean,
what place is big enough? We get Target Center probably. That was 2000.
2000, yeah.
Had to have been.
That's before LeBron.
It had to have been Metrodome.
No.
It's the only biggest spot you could fit people.
I would say they'd probably do it at Target Center just because that's where.
Was that a thing?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't know how long the Target Center's been around.
I think.
What was it, 2000?
What the heck? Oh. Okay.
Target Center, it is. Look at these people.
Yeah.
These guys look like a bunch of goons.
All right, so it says Barclays Center has been the home of the draft since it opened its doors in 2012. So every draft since
so they do it at the same spot
has been at Barclays Center.
Yeah.
And so it says, so it's unlikely that the venue will change in 2024 or 2025.
You know who the number 1 pick was?
Oh, I'm looking at it.
Kenyon Martin, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Stromile Swift.
Ball player.
Hedo Turkoglu, very good. Jamal Crawford, stud. Darius Miles, high flyer.
Who would you pick in the top 20 picks?
Speedy Claxton.
Who would you pick as the number 1 player in that draft?
Like after their careers?
Knowing how their careers went.
I would say, I think Kenyon Martin had a great career. I would probably say though it has to be Jamal Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
He almost has 20,000 points. I mean, you look at this thing, like he almost has 20,000 points.
Oh yeah.
He's played 16,000 more minutes. Played 5 more seasons.
Yeah, Jamal Crawford, easy.
100%.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
He averaged the most points out of that draft.
Yeah, he did.
Mark Madsen, the Mad Dog.
Yeah, he's a ball player.
He's gotta be.
He's a coach now.
Yeah, where's he at?
Come on now, you got it.
Coach?
Yep.
I want to say the Celtics, but I don't think it's the Celtics. Is it an NBA team?
Nope.
No, it's a college. It's they're green.
They were green.
Oh.
It's Utah. It was Utah Valley this last year, but he got a new coaching position for this next year. Will be his first year at this new school.
D1?
Yep. Which school?
No idea.
He moved up. You would consider.
Yo, Utah Valley's not very.
They were solid. They made it far in the NIT.
Yeah, but
just saying.
they're so small. I don't know.
They beat Cincinnati in the NIT.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Damn. Did they win the NIT?
No, North Texas did.
The Green Wave. Where's he?
The
at?
what?
Aren't they the North Texas Green Wave? Or are they the Mean Green?
The Mean Green.
Mean Green.
Yeah. All right. So where'd he go?
I have no idea.
Power 5.
Okay.
West Coast.
We went to what? Pac-12.
Yep. California.
We went to Cal.
Yes.
They were ass. Poor guy.
Yep. I believe people were talking about him going to. Where did he go?
Mark Manson.
Yeah, it said on there.
Stanford.
Yeah.
It's a smart guy.
They were talking about him going back to Stanford, but I can't remember. It's either they didn't fire their coach or they didn't move fast enough in the process to determine a new head coach.
Oh,
and so he just went to Cal because it was open and they wanted him and he wanted to
offered him
move
something.
on. Yeah.
Eddie House was in that draft.
Yep. All right, so back to this year's NBA draft. So
also
2023.
Jabari Smith, huh? Jabari Smith, the dad.
So we got the order of the top. We're going to go top 10 picks, what those teams need, and who we think they should pick. So we got Spurs at the number 1. Then we got Hornets, Blazers, Rockets, Pistons, top 5. 6 to 10 is Magic, Pacers, Wizards, Jazz, Mavs.
Yep.
So a lot of crappy teams.
That's how you get in the top 10, baby.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't matter. The Spurs are taking.
Spurs are going to take Wembanyama.
So that's done.
Yep.
That's a guarantee. Lock it in right now.
Yep. So the draft pretty much starts at 2.
It does start.
With the Hornets.
Yeah.
Here's a question. So, well, I guess how long are the NBA picks? How long are the pick timers?
I'd probably say 3 minutes.
You think for the first round?
Yeah.
No, it got to be more than that. 5
Really?
minutes? I would guess more than that. I think the second round could be 3 minutes, but there's only 2 rounds.
5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. All right, so 5 minutes on the clock. The draft starts. How long do you think the Spurs will take before it says the pick is in?
All 5.
You think?
Every time.
Why?
They just do that.
Everybody knows who
they
they're
gotta
picking.
hype it up. They gotta hype the draft up. They want that. It's more TV time. If you
So-
take the quick 5 minutes, then it's like, oh, we're already on to pick 2. It's like, no, take the whole time. Get the people going. And you also know that the reporters want to like talk about them for.
No, yeah. That's not to say that that's when they'll announce the pick, but how long do you think it will take until it shows on the screen the pick is in of the 5 minutes?
20 seconds.
You think?
I think they should actually just even start it at 2. They should come out there and they should say, hey, welcome to the NBA draft. With the first pick, the Spurs are taking Wembanyama.
Just right
Pick number
into
2,
it.
The Hornets, you guys are out.
Hornets are on the clock.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like this is the most guaranteed by number 1 pick besides LeBron.
I don't know all the number 1 picks, but I feel like there's got to be somebody in the last 20 years that it was like, oh yeah, he's for sure going number 1.
I know, but this guy's been talked to. I mean,
this one's like
this guy was talked about last year.
Wrap it up, it's all done. But I feel like had to have been somebody in the last 20 years that was like, all right, he's minus 20,000 as an odds to go number 1.
Yeah, I mean this guy though. So he's number 1.
All right, so he's got number 1. Hornets are 2.
I think it's so hard because I mean it sounds terrible, but like there's not one team in this top 10. Maybe the Mavs. But it's like there's not one team in this top 10 that has like a specific like, oh, what do you think they need? Like the Hornets, they obviously don't need a point guard. LaMelo Ball is like the point guard. So like I think though like that's the hard part is like because Scoot Henderson has been like the kind of projected 2-3 guy, but it's like also at the same time, LaMelo's your point guard.
Yeah, I think that
one of them can mix and match, but LaMelo is really not. I mean, I feel like he has to have the ball in his hands. Like, he's a great passer.
Yeah, but you could argue that Terry Rozier, who's been the other guard on their team, he's a more ball-heavy, dominant guy.
Yeah,
he likes to do things with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, I still think, like, with this pick, I still think they go with the Brandon Miller just as a shooting forward. Which I truly think if it was
what?
Small forward. What did I say, shooting forward?
Yeah.
What I truly do think, though, is after watching Brandon Miller play in the NCAA tournament, I don't think he's going to be as good as Scoot Henderson. Granted, I haven't seen a lot of tape on Scoot Henderson because he went to whatever it was, the G League. But, like, I just think Brandon Miller showed a lot of holes when he was playing in the tournament. Mm-hmm. He shot and he just could, like, nothing went in. When he's supposed to be known as, like, this great shooter. But obviously a lot can come. Also about Brandon Miller, not even the legal charges. Apparently he came into these workouts and he just looked fat. That was the rumor. When they first saw him, they were like, you have not been working out. And apparently he didn't want to talk to any reporters. He didn't want to say nothing. Because it's kind of hard when you also probably don't want to talk to reporters because you also have that charge or whatever that was or whatever that would be like the huge topic.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That would be the huge topic. Like that's what reporters do. When you have that little thing, granted maybe not little, when you have something like that, they just harp on that 24/7. Every question would have been about that.
Yeah. I mean, you know it's coming because I feel like the reporters have to ask it.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, it's like, well, he doesn't want to talk about it, so he's not going to answer it. So then it's just like a spinning circle of nonsense that nothing ever comes out of the interview.
100%.
But
yeah.
Okay. Well, I also think they're gonna pick Brandon Miller. I would not be surprised if they pick Scoot.
Do you think the Blazers have any potential to trade up?
No.
So they would.
Why would they do that?
So you think, because then it goes to the third pick. So like, here's my question though: with Scoot Henderson, do you think him and Dame would fit well together?
Scoot?
Yeah. Because he's a point guard, primary point guard, ball handler.
Yeah, I just don't think that the Blazers will have both of them.
Oh, you think Dame's?
They'll either trade the pick and get an established player, or they'll keep the pick and they'll trade Dame to acquire assets.
Got it.
And go super young.
Yeah.
They're going to do one of the two, but I don't know which one they're going to do.
So if they stay at pick 3, you think Dame's gone?
Yes.
And they'll take Scoot?
Correct.
And just build around him?
Yes. But I think it's harder for them if Scoot is picked number 2. Because I think more teams are interested in Scoot than Brandon Miller.
Yep. I agree with that. But
so
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
But do you think there's any chance that they stay at 3 and draft Brandon Miller? And then also at the same time keep Dame?
Well, that just wouldn't make any sense to me. The thing that they have that's the most valuable to any potential team is the number 3 overall pick.
So okay.
Because there's pretty much 3, maybe 4, but like the top 3 are established. Those 3 are going to be picked in the top 3. There's not really any question, right? We pretty much know who's going to go 4 as well, but like I don't think there's really anybody saying, oh, the guy that's going to get picked 4, he could move up into the top 3. It's pretty much the top 3 and then the remaining people.
Okay.
So the thing that they have that's the most valuable is the number 3 pick. So if they want to keep that and pick whoever the third player is that's available, either Brandon Miller or Scoot, then they can pick them. And in that case, it doesn't make sense for them to keep that player and Dame, because Dame is ready to do something right now.
Right.
He's not going to be around long enough for the new guy to get good enough to lead a
So
team.
you don't think these 2 guys can step in there and make an impact on the first year?
The
Scoot or Brandon Miller?
Not in a way that's going to push the Blazers into postseason success.
So do you think even if they acquire assets, the Blazers have I feel like the Blazers are going to be dog shit no matter what they do. I think the Blazers just aren't good. And Dame's a part of that, so I think they should trade Dame and get something from him and just be like, we're rebuilding completely, and this guy is...
That would be the assets.
Yeah, but my question though is like, for a lot of people, like, what would you get from Dame? What do you think you'd get from Dame?
Multiple first-round picks.
Who would give that up? Who would give up multiple first-round picks
for Dame?
Yeah.
Plenty of people, I think.
Name 3 teams.
I mean...
I'm looking at this top 10. I don't know anybody who would give up multiple first rounds. Like, I don't think the Magic would give up multiple first rounds. Or even their first picks this year for Dame.
No, it wouldn't be any of the top 10 teams. I don't think.
So who would it be, like a Pelicans?
It could be.
Okay. So they would give up their 1 first rounder?
Well, it would be future picks.
That's what I'm saying. So they would go future 2 first round, I guess.
No, I think it would be 3.
I just don't know. I think he would need more than that. I think a team has to, look at what they gave up for KD. The Suns gave up a ton.
Yeah, I would say Dame's not quite as good as KD.
Yeah. I just think I don't know any team that can get Dame. I guess he could potentially help. I don't know. The Pelicans would seem like a decent fit if they could figure it out. But
yeah,
I guess.
I mean, what about the Heat?
Yeah, I guess if you can take on his contract, absolutely. I think the Heat have harder time than the Pelicans. I don't think the Pelicans have as much in the bag. Like, I think the Heat have a lot of guys who...
They have a lot of younger guys.
Yeah, but you look at it, too, with the Heat. Like, Max Strus is...
They would have to get rid of Hero.
Hero potential there. Gabe Vincent's a free agent. Like, those two guys, too. So it's like... Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think Dame's a game changer. I think the Heat would be a very interesting...
What if Harden doesn't go to the Sixers and...
if he goes to the Rockets?
Goes over there.
So you think Harden would go to the Rockets then?
Harden leaves and goes somewhere else, but then Dame gets traded to the Sixers.
Yeah. It just depends. It just depends what they're going to get for him, I guess. And you can get
multiple future first round picks.
Yeah, I know, but you think about the Sixers, then, so just their future first round picks, they're not going to be top 15 picks.
And a player
they're going to be like 24. What are you going to do with a 24th first round pick?
Yeah, but if you have 6 first round picks, you can package those to move up.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see. I just think this draft is one of those drafts where like the first player is dominant. Scoot Henderson's good, Brandon Miller's good, but like, I mean, that one year with like Paolo and Chet and them, it's like they had multiple guys who are like, okay, these guys are future all-stars on these teams. I don't think Brandon Miller will be an all-star.
I think Scoot could.
I think Scoot has the potential, but I just think it's different this year. So we'll see what they do.
All right, so we're moving on from the Blazers. Now we got Rockets. They got Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Sengun.
Who's their point guard?
Kevin Porter Jr.
Okay, so they're very young.
They are very young.
Yeah.
So
potentially James Harden coming in.
Yeah, which would be weird.
I don't think that would be a good fit, but I think that also at the same time, it's one of those stories where I feel like they would just be like, oh, we want James Harden, we want the name.
They've been so focused on rebuilding. If they brought Harden back in, then...
We'll just screw the whole plan.
It would be like, all right, we're tired of doing this rebuilding thing. Like, let's try and quicken up the process of getting back to being good. But I think it would backfire.
100% would backfire, I think. Well, and also
because all the guys,
a ton of money.
All the guys that they have are the same age, pretty much.
Right. You almost just have to, for them, stick with the rebuilding.
You have to.
They're just going to draft a guy.
You can't just bop around to all these different strategies.
Right. And I don't think Harden is worth whatever, but we'll see. Who do you have them taking?
Amen.
Thompson?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they need that point guard. I think...
because he has the highest potential.
Yeah, and I think you almost at their point, like you said, with how they're doing things now, you might as well just kind of take a guy who has a very high ceiling to be like, hey, we can work with him. We have a few years. I don't think anyone expects next year the Rockets to make a move, to make the playoffs.
No.
So it's like, I do think...
I would say they're probably,
at least
in an ideal world, probably 3.
Yeah. Next year they'll be in the same spot as this. So they'll get another guy.
Probably.
And so that's why I think, he's not a bad pick to solidify your point guard spot and just let him grow. So.
And he's big. 6'7".
Yeah.
Can't teach height.
Can't teach size. That's what the kids say.
All right, now we're going to Detroit. Most disappointing
they got screwed.
Draft lottery team.
Yeah.
I
mean, they have a lot to work. I mean, I will say this about Detroit. Obviously, you got your coach. Obviously,
Monty Williams. You got Cade Cunningham
coming back. Apparently, he looks good. So, like, yes,
who
you
else
have
you got?
Sadiq Bey, isn't he on there?
Sadiq Bey. I mean, I thought that they wanted to trade him so bad last year. They got Jalen Duren.
So they have
center.
Wiseman, Jaden Ivey.
Okay.
Isaiah Marvin Bagley. So they have a bunch of young guys who were projected to be superstars.
Yeah.
RJ Hampton was high hopes, not really, and then they have Bogdanovich.
Yeah, and Bogdanovich was one of their best players last year.
Buddy Boeheim.
Okay. Let's actually say guys that actually play.
I think he plays. He has to play.
Buddy Boeheim.
I don't think. Who are you gonna play? These guys
All
stink.
of these guys played before him.
Yeah, RJ Hampton is ass. If you think RJ Hampton is good at basketball, he's ass.
I think he's probably better than Buddy Boeheim. I'm serious.
Average 5 points.
Yeah, look up his stats.
Average 1.6 point.
There you go.
18 minute or what do you have? 9 minutes. Average 9 minutes
In 10 games.
in 10 games. It's pretty bad. Their whole team is bad. They're also
And they were all hurt, and he still didn't play.
who was all hurt?
Like, their whole team. Cade Cunningham was out most of the year.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm just saying.
Well, they don't even have a picture of him. They say Buddy Boeheim, NBA.com, and it's an African American guy. That's just disrespectful.
Buddy is not.
Yeah, it's just disrespectful.
All right, so they got Cade Cunningham at the point. They got Jaden Ivey at the 2, pretty much, because they both are maybe more point guard focused.
Mm-hmm.
And you got one of Jalen Duren or Marvin Bagley at the center.
You don't think Wiseman will be the center?
I don't know.
I feel like Marvin Bagley and Duren will be like 4, but
Duren would be the 5.
I mean, they're all large human
Did he
beings.
start? I think
He averaged 25 minutes.
Yeah, 35, 23, 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Duren had to have started over him.
Yeah. Well, this game, I don't know if it's good.
I don't
They
even
both
know
average around
about
25, 26 minutes.
I don't even know about contract stuff. But anyways, all right, so they need like a 3/4.
Yeah, you got to get the kid from Villanova. That is almost more of a guarantee
Then
the 4 pick, I think.
you think?
Yeah, I think this Cam Whitmore fits perfectly for them. Good shooter, solid player, young, big, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
Good scorer. So
So
I think he fits them. But I think it's the same thing. And I think it's the same thing for the...
But he could potentially fit with Houston too.
That's what I'm saying. So if he drops to Houston...
Well, he will.
Who will?
Whitmore
Will what?
will drop past, like, he'll be there when Houston's picking.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if they pick him, I think then you have to go a different route. I don't think Houston... I think Houston needs a point guard and needs to keep rebuilding. So I don't see Houston picking another small forward.
I'm not exactly sure what Kevin Porter Jr.'s status is, but I feel like last year he was good enough to be around, but I don't think they necessarily want him to be their guy.
Yeah. Well, Jalen Green too, yeah.
Jalen Green, shooting guard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're still a few years away. I think a lot of these teams are still a few years away. I think
Wait, we're on the Pistons.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
Pistons are a few years away from being anything decent.
Yeah.
I think they'll have a very good
Easily.
chance of getting the number 1
Easily
pick again.
far.
They're farther than the Rockets.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of rebuilding for them, but I still think it's a solid pick to take this Whitmer kid.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
then you basically have your positions to grow
In
with.
theory, you have your starting 5
Yeah,
as much as you can,
right.
and then you just have to develop them.
You hope. And you have a coach now, so
Mhm.
hopefully he can develop.
It's true. All right, 6, you got Magic. They got an interesting team.
Yeah, they're a unique team, that's for dang sure.
They got Paolo, so that one's set in stone. They got
Markelle Fultz
Markelle Fultz.
kind of came into his own. Jalen Suggs is a good player. I don't know. It's interesting though. They don't really have like
Who's their other guys? Franz
Cole
Wagner.
Anthony. Cole Anthony played a decent amount.
Oh, Paolo, they got him at the 4.
And then Bol was probably.
So they got Franz Wagner and Paolo. Those are the guys locked in. Oh, and Wendell Carter
Junior.
Yeah. So those are the 3 that are locked in.
So you have to go smaller probably.
You probably want a guard
Yeah, guardish, 2-3 maybe.
or 1-2.
Yeah. Well, I guess what does Fultz play? 2.
Technically a
Sure.
1.
And then Jalen.
I mean,
Suggs
they
is
got
kind of a 1.
Suggs, Cole Anthony, and Markelle Fultz that are all similar position-wise, but they're all not that great.
No. I think you could, I think here's the thing is I think Markelle Fultz kind of obviously showed a lot of improvement. Granted, he couldn't get worse, but like with his jump shot. But I think Jalen Suggs could be decent. He's very athletic. 22 years old.
Yeah.
He's still coming into his own. They're still a young team, but I think like you look, yes, you have a superstar. Paolo is very good.
That's your guy.
That is your guy. Franz Wagner's not bad, but
he's our second best player.
Yeah.
And Wendell Carter Jr. Those three are like locked in for me.
Yeah.
So I think they go guard, Anthony Black, Arkansas guy.
Yeah. I think he's a solid pick. I think the hard part with him is he's still young. He's still just raw, which a lot of these picks will be because they're just drafting these young guys to develop them. But
exactly. But like this team is young. Paolo just came in last year. Franz and Wendell are both young too.
So would you put Anthony Black then at the point guard?
Yeah.
Okay. And like Suggs would come off the bench.
I mean, you would pick one of Fultz.
Fultz would probably roll to the 2, to be honest.
Or Fultz would be 1 and Black would be 2.
Yeah. I just think the hardest part
or
about Anthony Black is Anthony Black
Suggs.
has to be. I feel like Anthony Black has to be the number 1. He's not that great of a shooter. He's more of just a point guard, full point guard, great passer, athletic, but he's just not a great shooter. Like that whole Arkansas team was not good at shooting. That was like their huge downfall.
Yeah, they only had one guy that could really shoot.
Right, and they still beat Kansas, right? So yeah, I think he would have to be the number 1 if they were going to take him.
Yeah, who do you think?
No, I think he's a solid pick. I don't know. I think if you're going to go small, well, the one guy who you had going 4, if he dropped to them, would be a very good pick. Oh man, for sure.
Yeah, if he's there.
But I think you do still have to go small, and you have to solidify the point guard. I think, like you said, I just think you could probably get some value from. I think Cole Anthony for sure comes off the bench if he hasn't.
Yeah, he was last year.
And then Jalen Suggs is good. He's solid. He needs some time to develop. Markelle Fultz is kind of one of those guys where it's just like he needs to show improvement because he's a lot older. So I think you still go point guard and solidify that spot.
Yep, I agree. So you're going with either Amen
or Anthony Black.
All right. Good thinking, Dave. All right, next Pacers, 7. They pretty much got Halliburton. That's their guy.
Yeah. Miles Turner's been there forever.
They don't need anybody else. Like, they need everything else.
Yeah. And Halliburton's more of just this pure shooter. He's not their point guard.
Yeah, he is.
He brings the ball up?
Oh, yeah. He's their PG. He's running the show.
Oh, no, wait. Benedict Mathurin is good. This kid will be an all-star. For sure. For sure. What do you mean? He probably averaged the most points out of all those guys besides Paolo. Granted, Chet was hurt. I don't know who was the 3 pick. I'll tell you this right now. Mark my words. Benedict Mathurin will be an all-star in the next 3 years.
Mathurin
will be an all-star in the next 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, next 3 years.
So next year is the first year.
Next year's the first year. So he has 3 years, starting this coming up year.
And he'll be an all-star?
All-star.
I'll bet you that. What do you want to bet?
$10.
Okay. Hey, Les, put that in your phone.
Yeah, 100%. He's their second best player.
Next 3 years.
He's their second best player.
So 2023, 2024, 2025.
Yep. Next 3 years.
All right. That's
He's their second best player.
Exactly. On the Pacers, who stink.
They're actually starting 5. I mean, it's not awful, but.
All right, so they got a bunch of guards. They got to go bigger.
Yeah, you have to go bigger.
And Miles Turner, honestly, I felt like they were going to trade him last year.
I didn't even know he was still in the league, to be honest. He's like irrelevant. He's making a lot of money, but he's like. He's just going to get your 12 points, 12 rebounds.
Fine. Yeah, he's fine.
With
a couple blocks.
The hardest part nowadays is when you look at the center positions. Granted, if there is anything called the actual center, like all these guys are just athletic and you have to be able to shoot. Miles Turner doesn't stem me as that, or you have to be able to handle the ball too. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why I think the Timberwolves kind of put themselves in a corner too with Rudy. Like, Rudy can't dribble. Like, look at these great Giannis.
Well, you got to be either a defensive presence or.
I think Miles Turner's a decent.
I think that he is a good modern day center because he can fill the dunker spot, catch alley-oops, set screens on offense, and he can be a rim protecting big on the defensive end. Or you either have that personality basketball persona,
Mm-hmm.
or you have guys that are kind of like you play through them, like your Jokic's, where you give them the ball and they're making plays, dishing it to everybody. You got Sabonis who does everything. They're both getting like close to triple doubles almost every game. Like I feel like those are the two like basketball personality types that are the most successful in the modern day NBA. If you're throw it into you on the post, not gonna work.
Like big guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking like centers, bigs.
Yeah. Well, I
So
think that's the
that's-
difference. You have to be able to run the pick and roll and be able to dribble the ball.
Well,
I don't think. I'll say this right now. And I said this when we got Rudy Gobert. I don't think Rudy Gobert is a great center in today's day and age. For what he's getting paid and what we gave up for him, I don't think Rudy Gobert is a great center. I don't even think he's a top 5 center.
Well, I think that he fits into the rim protecting defensive player and a screener and dunker spot at catch alley position. It's up to the team to use him and utilize him and maximize his strengths.
Yeah, but so in today's
the
modern day basketball, like, is that really what you want as a
Yes,
center?
that's one of the two.
Look at the teams that were just in the finals. How many of those teams had that guy?
That's one of the two basketball personality types for a big guy that I think will be successful.
Which team in the NBA finals or the NBA playoffs had a guy like that were successful?
You could say Robert Williams on the Celtics.
He didn't even start for some of the games.
I'm
He
just
didn't even
saying.
start. Heat. Who was the Heat? Bam. Bam brought the ball up and could shoot and was athletic. Jokic. Obviously, we talked about him. Giannis. No. The only other argument could potentially be the Cavaliers with like Jared Allen.
Yeah, Jared Allen.
Okay.
What about Mitchell Robinson
For
the Knicks?
Sure.
He starts.
Okay. You would take Mitchell Robinson over guys.
What about Clint Capella?
For who? The Hawks?
The Hawks.
Okay.
Who else was in the playoffs? The Nets. What's his name? Claxton.
So you're talking about all teams that got bounced in the first few rounds.
I'm talking about teams that made the playoffs.
Okay, so yeah, you're talking about teams that made the playoffs.
We're talking half the teams in the league.
That's what I'm saying. And 4 of them they all got bounced in the first round. Look at the Suns. DeAndre Ayton is an athletic big.
You're not passing it to him and he's making plays with the ball.
What do you mean? He would run the pick and roll with Durant in them.
I'm not saying
And he would dribble
I'm
it.
not saying you can't run the pick and roll. I'm saying that you're setting screens and your primary job coming off those screens is to catch alley-oops. It's not like you're dishing it back to him and they're making plays.
Wait. DeAndre Ayton is able to do that.
Not probably as good as other players.
I would say DeAndre Ayton falls more in the Jokic category than the Robert Williams category. Rudy Gobert category.
Well, he's just not very good at defense either. So I would say he's kind of in the no man's land. He's not really this way, and he's not really this way.
If you had to pick which way would you solidify him? Jokic ain't great at defense.
No, he isn't. That's why he's on this side.
But that's what I'm saying.
I would say Ayton is truly in the direct middle. He's not a guy that you're giving the ball to and having him make plays for your whole team, and he stinks at defense.
Yeah, I would.
So I would say he's literally
watching him play. He
neither.
can literally back. He's like a Karl Anthony Towns athletic. Karl Anthony Towns is a better shooter, trash at defense, and literally is good with his feet. I think when you compare Robert Williams is literally a guy who wants to catch the ball and either dunks it or passes it out. He doesn't dribble.
Yeah.
He can't dribble.
Right.
So yeah, I guess there's 2 types of guys. The question was like, who would you rather have? This kind of which personality would you rather have?
Well, I'm saying both. I think those are the 2 personalities that can be successful. But you have to be one of them. If you're Ayton, you're kind of just like, he's not really good at anything.
Well, it's decent. I mean, he averages like probably
He's decent.
close to 20 points.
He's decent.
20 points from your center?
I don't know. Does he average 20?
Yes, I average a decent amount. He averaged 18 points last year. 10 rebounds. He averaged a double-double.
I mean, if you're a center and you're not averaging 10 rebounds or close to it, then that's not good.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Miles Turner is just one of those guys where it's like, well, Miles Turner only averaged 7 rebounds. So I guess he's not very good.
No. So on the down slope.
Yeah,
all right, let's get back to the draft.
I mean, you have to take a big guy. You have to, I think the Pacers have to take a middle to big guy because you have.
So who you got?
Halliburton. Well, I'm taking this Taylor Hendricks guy from UCF.
You think?
Just found about. Well, I would either take him or the guy from Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
Jarris Walker.
That's who I think they should pick.
Yeah, I think he's a solid player.
Because he fits in what you just said, 3-4 guy.
Well, they need a guy because since Miles Turner's ass, they need a guy who can do both things, and then Miles Turner can stick to just that of grabbing some rebounds and just putting the ball up to dunk.
Or low-key undercover pick. They pick Lively from Duke. And,
but Lively's so similar to... I feel like Lively's so similar to Miles Turner.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. They pick Derek Lively, and they're like, peace out, Miles Turner.
Oh.
You're out.
I don't know how many people want Miles Turner nowadays, but they could try.
They were talking about a bunch of teams trying to get him, or like having somewhat interest last year. Because he's a veteran big guy. Like, he can do some things fairly well. Like, he's a rim protector. If you're looking for that.
He costs so much money.
I'm just saying. So, undercover could be a good, decent pick if they decide to go that route. Otherwise, if Walker's there, then they'll go him. All right, Wizards at the 8 pick.
They need a lot, too.
They got Bradley Beal, I think, if he sticks around. Keeps sticking around.
I mean, he's like a lifer by now. He almost has to be
near.
Just cashing paychecks and finishing in the
scoring
bottom 10.
Money. Scoring points.
Scoring points and
cashing money.
Whatever. We got Porzingis.
Yeah.
He's decent.
I guess.
He's good.
So who do they need?
This is what I said they need a point guard. This is where I would say Anthony Black would go if he'd fell to them.
I don't think he'll fall to them though.
Kyle Kuzma. They definitely need a point guard. Your point guard cannot be Daylon Wright or Monte Morris.
Monte Morris, I would put him in the similar category as Tyus Jones. A good backup point guard, but if you count on him to be your starting point guard every single game, not going to go well for you.
Right. And so they need a point guard. I mean, you need a point guard.
So who's left?
Well, yeah. I mean, I could see them. I could see them trying to bump up to try to get Amen or try to get Anthony Black if you think Anthony Black goes earlier.
You think?
Yeah. I think you have to. I think they have to get a point guard. And besides them, who's another?
What if
Jalen Hood-Schifino? I don't think so.
What if they do this? What if they move back?
And then they could get Hood-Schifino.
And then pick any of those guys in there.
Yeah, I think that would probably be their best one. I just don't see any of this Case and Wallace guy. I just think from Kentucky, I don't think any of the point guards besides those two guys are going to make a decent impact right away. I think Hood-Schifino's a good player. I think he's fine. I don't think he's going to come in and be like, okay, this guy is...
I think it's hard because at this point in the draft, there isn't anybody that a team is like, oh, we need to move up and draft this guy.
Yeah, usually it's only the first 3 picks.
Right. So in that case, the value of the 8 pick is just not that high. So moving back, like, yes, they may acquire a few more assets, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, what are you acquiring if you're moving back a number of picks?
Well, and I think teams also know, unless they have a super dire need, that a guy is still there for that 8 pick. A lot of teams won't give up a ton for that 8 pick because they'll just be like, we'll just take our chances and do whatever.
I think the only thing could be that if they package a player and the pick. Yeah, like, I don't know if it's like they trade the pick for a pick and a player when they move back, but
so they package it out, yeah.
I don't see them moving back and
just like swapping picks,
trading just for pure picks.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, let's move back from 8 to 12 so that we can get a point guard in theory. They move back from 8 to 12 and they add in like what, a 26th pick,
or an early second.
It's like, okay, well, what are you doing with that?
Yeah, there's no value
beneficial.
Right. So, I think they have to go point guard though. So, I think Hood Schifino could be if he's the only one there. But I think, like you said, you could get Hood Schifino later in the round, so you might as well try to get something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I agree. That's probably the most likely. Mm-hmm. 9, Jazz.
Jazz are interesting.
In what way? They need a lot as well.
Yeah.
They got Markkanen. And who
Jordan
else?
Clarkson. Walker Kessler.
Oh, yeah.
Colin Sexton. They're decent. Decent. Compared to these other teams we've talked about, they're decent.
There are 2 guys that they're going to try and build around is Markkanen and Walker Kessler.
Not Sexton? Is he kind of on the way out?
I mean, they got Sexton as a throw-in piece for Donovan Mitchell, I think. But
he was decent for him.
He's okay.
He's worthy of a starting position on their team.
Could be.
I mean, this kid was supposed to be good too. Baji.
He's young.
Yeah. So you have young talent.
So Jordan Clarkson, who knows what he's going to be doing, if he's going to still be there or not. They were talking about trading him last year too. But so you got to go guard, 2 or 3.
I think 2 or 3, yeah. I mean, this one kid from France is decent, apparently. Bilal Koulibaly. But I also think potentially if you're going to go, that's what I'm saying. Potentially, though, if you're going to go small forward, I actually don't think Grady Dick's a terrible pick. I think he'll be very good, but that's a 3 position right there.
He's just not that exciting to me, honestly.
Yeah, I think he's a great college player. He's a good shooter. Yeah. I mean, he's a good shooter.
I think he's a good shooter. I don't know. He just
doesn't have the wow factor.
Yeah.
But that's what we talked about. Do you want the wow factor or do you want Jokic's that just win? Maybe they want Jokic. Maybe they have a lot of wow factors.
Would you say he's a Jokic?
Like the style of play he plays. He just never looks happy. I will say this. It does always look like it comes natural to him.
His dick.
Well, yeah, that's not his fault. But he can always get that changed if needed.
Sure.
But I also think for him, like when you just watch him play Kansas, like he was always that guy where it's like he was on a fast break and he would just like barely dunk it. Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, throw the thing down. Yeah. Like get excited.
You're 6'8".
Yeah, do something. But I don't know. He is a big guy.
You think maybe the other Thompson, Asar?
Yeah, I just don't know about these Thompson twins.
I don't know anything about.
Because from what I've seen and what I've saw, it's like people are like, "Oh, do you want this?" And then of course they'll show the highlights where they just brick a bunch of shots, and they take like step backs from like half court, and
or they'll show the opposite where they're just like hammering dunks.
Yeah, it's like there's only one of them. They never show them together.
No,
it's like you're either going to get something really really good, or you're also going to get something where it's like these guys can't actually shoot a basketball. Never draft them, and it's like I don't necessarily agree with that fact. I think they're probably very athletic, but like you said, it's just so hard where it's like they're very raw. Where it's like, what style do they play versus what are you looking for? You know. So I don't know. I think you could take a chance on him.
Shooting guard or small forward for sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe the UConn guy. He can strike.
Hawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah. All right. Rounding out top 10, Dallas.
Yeah, this is where I thought you might take one of those Thompson twins at the shooting guard. But like I said, I don't really know about the. I mean,
it depends on what they're thinking with roster creation. Like, I think that they're probably gonna try and re-sign Kyrie, right?
Yeah, I think they need.
They got Luka, they got Kyrie, so it doesn't make sense to draft another guard.
Right, if they can sign Kyrie.
Yeah, but they have to try hard to sign him because they gave up a lot to get him.
They shouldn't even have this pick.
Well, they did.
Cheated.
So
this is where I could see Derek Lively going.
Oh yeah, Derek Lively, this Taylor Hendricks guy from Central Florida. People are talking him up.
Yeah, he's big. I just think it's crazy. It's like these guys are so raw because they're freshmen, so it's like you got to be able to just work with them. And I think that's where I think Lively showed a lot of talent. I mean, the guy is just...
Well, he was hurt at the beginning of the year.
But then once he came back, he was a freak.
He was good. I mean, he was the number 1 overall high school recruit. So you know that it's not like, oh, this is just some rando guy.
Yeah.
You know, he was number 1 recruit.
But do you think they go potentially shooting for... or
over Brandon Miller, over all those dudes?
No, I'm saying they go small forward potentially.
If Grady Dick's there, I think that they might go him.
But not not the Twins. I just think it's so hard with the Twins. We don't know anything about them.
Yeah, I don't think they would go there because they need somebody that can contribute a little bit more earlier because they do have superstars.
Yeah. But I think they need a rim protector. That's why I think a center would be so good. Like they have Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Will shoot the ball potentially every time.
Right.
So if you can re-sign Kyrie,
But yeah, Derek Lively I think would fit pretty well with them.
Yeah. He's kind of a better JaVale McGee when they had JaVale McGee back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, they've had Christian Wood. I don't know what his status is, if he's going to be around or not. Yeah, 4/5. Yeah. But then they would also start other guys like Dwight Powell or
Randos.
Yeah. So I think it's most likely that they'll go big.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we'll see. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good pick.
Yep. All right, that's top 10. We're good there.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting if you're looking out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of talented, good players, but there's just a lot of young talent. Mm-hmm. Like, Jet Howard is potentially a top 20, 25 pick. You got, obviously, Hood Schifino we talked about. You got these guys, and like the Murray brother, who was from Iowa, is just a pure scorer.
I think there's plenty of guys that in my head I'm picturing them as more naturally good college players. It's hard for me to see them as, oh yeah, these guys are going to be good in the NBA.
What do you think is the one thing, like for that sense, like that would transition the best from college to NBA? Like size, or like, do you think, like, in my head, my answer would be like pure score, like just shooting abilities?
It depends on where, like what situation. Are you talking like top 5 pick?
Just in the first round.
To a shitty team? Or are you talking
top
somebody
20?
Like in the 10 to 30 range?
10 to 30.
If you're talking 10 to 30, I would say the most important thing is you have to be able to do things that aren't scoring.
So like pure scores probably aren't the way to go.
No, because if you just think about the draft order, so the top 14 picks in theory are the teams that miss the playoffs, right? So then you have the following 16 picks are all teams that at least made the playoffs, which means that they had some level of success. Usually around the 8 seed is like 40 and 40, so right around 500, right? So you won a decent amount of games. You didn't win enough to maybe move on in the playoffs, so you're kind of right on that edge. You might have 1 to 2 like solidified, like these are our guys, you know? So if you're getting picked 10 to 30, you have to be able to do other things because they already have the 1 to 2 guys that are like the main guys specifically on the offensive end.
But do you think it's one of those things too, like you start looking at the draft order and it's like a lot of these drafts or these teams that were in the top 5, top 6 also have extra picks later because they basically traded.
See, that's a different scenario. But at the same time, like, okay, so...
But I'm not saying traded during the draft. Like, they already know. They were already traded pre.
No, yeah, for sure. So, like...
So, you look at the Timberwolves don't have a pick.
So, like, we'll just say Portland, for instance. They got the 3 and they got the 23, right? Mm-hmm. So, you're telling me that if I get picked at 23 coming in with a guy that was picked 3rd, well... I'm confident in my ability, but at the same time, like, you don't have the draft capitalities. You don't have the draft capital to walk in and be like, all right, I'm the guy, like, I'm taking the shots.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying obviously the earlier pick obviously would be that way, but I'm saying, like, if you're just a pure scorer, that's what you're known for. Like, I don't think that would tempt.
But everybody in the NBA can score.
That's my point then too. So it's like
you have to be able.
If you can't do anything, like TJD.
Yeah,
he's decent. He was a great college player, but like he's not a scorer.
No,
he was a scorer because he could get to the hoop.
He's tough.
He can't shoot.
He's tough because he's not big enough to be like a rim protecting big, but he's not a good enough like shooter or anything.
Right.
Yeah, to play a stretch offensive role. Yeah. So he's kind of an interesting player.
Right. I think you're almost drafting these later guys, 10 through 30, or even potentially second round, like that are just good athletes that you could say like, okay, I could maybe work with him and he could fit in, or he could be our backup point guard. Like Marcus Sasser could be a very good backup point guard.
Yeah, I think you're drafting to needs,
At that
like
point.
to fill an area of need for that team.
Right. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well. All right, let's move on. We're going top 5.
Top 5 it is. You
Yeah.
can't pull your name from here now.
What?
Like if you're an NBA guy like these guys.
Correct. Yeah, these guys are all in.
Got it.
Yep.
And there's only 60 picks.
60 picks, and then a bunch of guys get invited to the summer league.
Oscar Sheboy, huh?
All right. The overall record for this top 5 is I'm 4-3-1. So you're 3-4-1, which means that if you win this one, then we finish the season 4-4-1.
Let's do it.
That would be
tied?
equal. Yes. Topic for today: artists to see in concert.
Bang.
Rules are they have to be alive, so they have the potential to go see them in concert has to still be a possibility. And it can be somebody you've seen already. It can be somebody, well, you've seen them and you want to see them again. You haven't seen them and want to see them. And those are the 2 options.
Yeah. So literally the only rule is they have to be alive.
Correct.
Yep. Heads.
Tails.
There you go.
Wow. Picking first for first time in a while. I'm going to go Luke Combs.
Yep. I'm going to go Quinn XC1II or whatever.
Quinn 92.
Yeah.
Yeah, saw him last week. Great concert. Elite performance.
Has to be number 1. From how you've talked about him.
Elite performance.
Well, that's what I've seen, yeah. I thought it was at
Great shot.
I actually low-key thought I was at the concert with you for a little bit.
I mean,
Because so many people were there filming it. It was like one of
Yeah,
those
you
things where
should
you
have.
looked at it the next day and you were like,
he played all bangers.
yeah. Armory would
Great
be
time.
perfect for him.
Yeah, great time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis is on mine. I'm going to say Luke Combs.
No.
Interesting.
No. Bruce Springsteen.
Hell no.
Okay.
Not even in my top 20.
All right.
I'm going to say Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Definitely. Kenny Chesney.
Nope.
I fully leaned into country.
I'm going to say Drake. That was my one question mark. I was like, I got to throw a rapper in there and I don't know.
I like Drake, but my thing is going to like hip hop or rap concerts.
They're weird.
Just not really my vibe.
Yeah.
Because you can't, like, they're just like up there, but they're not like rapping.
No,
most of them.
And I will say this: the hardest part too is like with rap. And like I've never really been to a rap concert, but like you kind of see it, and it's like it's hard because like the rap that you hear on the radio, like when they're doing that and have the extra music and the extra sounds and like all that stuff, it's like okay, that's the song I think of.
Exactly.
It's like when they go up there and rap, and you're just like, there's no like background music, or like sick.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't care about the lyrics. I care more about the beat.
All right, my last pick, Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen is on mine. My last pick was also Morgan Wallen.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's on my list as well.
He's back. All right. Do you want to read? What did I get?
1, 2, 3.
You got 1, 3, 4. I'm surprised you didn't get 2.
Really?
Yeah. So what did you want to say yours?
Yeah. Number 1, Quinn 92. Number 2, Taylor Swift. Number 3, Morgan Wallen. Number 4 is Florida Georgia Line.
See, this is hard though. They're not a part. They're not a thing anymore.
I
was thinking of Florida
There's
Georgia Line.
still a possibility though.
There is.
And 5 is Bastille.
Oh, Bastille. I didn't even think of that. So my number 1.
An honorable mention, Post Malone.
See, that's what. 1 is Luke Combs. 2 is Post Malone. 3 Morgan Wallen. 4 Jordan Davis. 5 was Dylan Scott. My honorable mention was actually Chase Rice.
Oh, you already seen.
But yeah,
that was a good concert.
I thought it was good. I would have liked to see. I mean, here's the thing: is he has a lot of good songs.
More old stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hate. That's the one thing. Like the difference with Luke Combs, why Luke Combs was for sure on mine was like, first of all, when I did see him, it was like every song he played, even his new stuff was like popular enough to do it. Like Chase Rice's new stuff, it's like, unless I Google him, I've never seen it or heard it.
Mediocre.
I'm surprised he didn't get Post Malone. That was.
I was going.
Did you cross it
I was
off?
going through. First, I had Drake.
Oh, see.
But then I was like, I'm not a big hip hop concert guy.
Yeah.
So then I changed it to Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran would be good.
And then
So you
I was
changed it
like,
twice.
let me go Florida Georgia Line. Well, then at first I was gonna move Bastille up to 4, and I was like, no, wait, I gotta go Florida Georgia Line 4, Bastille back down to 5.
Florida Georgia Line would be good. I mean, I've heard they're very good. Obviously, I actually heard possibly coming back.
See that? There you go. It's still a possibility.
Possibly.
All right, David. 65. That was a long one.
Also, new shirts.
Yeah.
Actually, first round of shirts.
We're working on the design.
So these ones are not coming out.
We got sports on the front.
Yep.
Logo on the back.
A creamish color.
For the first round. So
definitely.
We'll be figuring that out in this break time.
Yes.
And then get it rolling for season 3.
August 8th.
August 8th. Be ready for the notification.
Be ready for the notification.
For the season 3.
Yep. So follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok,
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast. Yeah, you could get So there it is. Hopefully YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can see if you ever want, send us a video of how to actually pour a beer the way Nair thought you should.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens.
I'll work on that for next.
We'll send you another video. We'll put it on TikTok how to do it.
Yeah.
You should actually
duet it.
Ooh. See if it actually works. And if it's a fail, it's just like, it's a fail.
I'll duet it and show the terrible version.
This one?
And be like, this doesn't work.
This
confirmed.
Yeah. Just dog the person. It's horrible.
All right. 65.
Episode
65, season 2.